Hello, crafting buddies. It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin', coming to you. I'm counting this as Wednesday, November 12th at midnight. So technically it's Thursday morning, the 13th, but we're going to count it as the 12th. Let me get my devices set up here so I can hopefully see if anybody's joining me live. And we'll get going. I have just been putzing around in the craft room, cleaning. So let me do a couple of quick announcements. Make sure I've got my volumes off. So a couple of quick announcements. Next week on the 20th, we're doing this virtual craft class. Stampin' Up! Will be leading it. If you can't attend online, on November 20th, it will be recorded so you can view it later on demand. You can purchase a class from me. You can purchase a suite through me. And I intend to do the class. We'll see. If anyone is local to me and you want to craft along with me, let's do it together. All right. There are some new products available. We have some new kits. Adventure Awaits and Everyday Beauty. And guess what I got in my shipment? Adventure Awaits and Everyday Beauty. So we are going to work on one of these tonight. We'll see. And then nothing new with my schedule. I have a class tomorrow. That's a private class. Monday, for those of you that are local to me, I will have most, our Monday open studio time. And then next week, Wednesday, we've got our coffee and a card. And on Sunday, the 30th, I'm planning on him to come and kit it. Get together. So last night, excuse me, last night I was working on this fun fold with the gingerbread man, where we had the gingerbread with a little fancy little banner in him. And hello, Susan. Welcome. Sunny Melbourne, 24 degrees. I will have to look to see what that is in Celsius because it's probably warmer than we're having. So let's just see. 24 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Oh, that would be really nice. That's like 75 degrees for us. Beautiful weather. We were sunny today and probably about not quite 60 degrees, so cooler than you. All right. Tanya, welcome. So, last night I was working on this card. We got her skirt put on with some ribbon. Did a little pleated thing going on there. I added the candy cane today, and I added a little card. On the front, I embossed the 75, your 24 would be 75 Fahrenheit for us, which would be a very nice day. So anyway, I did, right. I embossed this on here and just put a snowflake inside so it looked like she had a little card. And then I redid our little gingerbread boy. So when I was playing with him yesterday, I broke his arm. I wore him out. So I had to do a new one. Part of it was because I had him, his head was slightly tilted, I think. And that put too much strain on my fold line. So when I put on the banner today, I should have probably did it so that his banner was a little sideways, because I ended up having to fold the candy cane to make it fit. All right, but he works. I also decided, let me kind of zoom this in a little bit. I'm not sure why it's elongated again. YouTube sometimes just doesn't like me. Everything seems long to me. But anyway, I used the pom-poms and I cut it out of some early espresso, and I gave him some little hair popping out of his hat because I thought he looked too bald. Okay, so this is my fix-it job from yesterday. I put some shorts on him, but we could always change the shorts if there were some cutes. Hi, Bonnie. If there were some suggestions that the shorts weren't working. But this will work. All right. What I did discover when I was folding him, though, I'm thinking about it. And with the New Year's card that I made, that I showed everybody last night, which was my inspiration for this. This is from 2022, and I had more for 2023. This is actually folded a little bit differently to do the wings, or like the arms here. And for this one, it actually needed to be folded. I think it needed to be folded in both places. But what I discovered for him really is I didn't really have to crease his head. All right, so I did just a little bit of a score through his midsection. Honest as I'm not. I think I'm maybe missing a joke. Anyway, let's pull this up. I was trying to read. I did a little score on his midsection. So instead of going all the way up to the head and all the way down the center of his legs, I only did the score like across there. And then I did it. Autocorrect is nuts today. Autocorrect is crazy nuts for me every day. It really makes me crazy. So anyway, I did just a little bit of scoring on his midsection. I scored across the arms, and then I used those lines to create my perpendicular lines to make this part. Okay, so he doesn't really need to be scored all the way on his backside. He doesn't need to be scored all the way on his head, and it kind of took away from his face. So I just didn't do that today. And it worked out fine. Okay. And then I added the Merry Christmas. I added the hat and the pom-poms. And I added his little shorts. So that's our finish up from last night. Okay. So let me get this put away. Hi, Yuda. I may make more of those because that was kind of fun. We'll see. All right, so we need to decide what kit we're going to do so that I have some samples for my Kit It Together at the end of the month. I'm just going to open these up so you can take a look at them. I need to be careful with blades, don't I? My thumb is still healing. It's a little tender, but I think I'll be fine. All right. So I'm actually going to get rid of those boxes. I don't really need those. All right, so this is a non-stamping set. And this is a stamping set. It comes with a Night of Navy ink spot. And it says, hello, beautiful, thanks, celebrate today and every day for all you do. And then there's some flowers and flowers. I guess that's flowers. And the fun thing with this one is I'm a bit close today. Okay, I guess I should move it out because I had it moved in so you could see the gingerbread man. Let's maybe move this up out of the way too. Oh, there's that other one that I was looking for. The other waistband. It got under my sign. All right, is that a little bit better? And let's see if I move that up there, that'll block the glare a little bit. All right, I think we're better, right? All right, so this one, the cool thing with this is there's like these wax seals to embellish these cards. So what do we think? Retro cards or the floral wax seals? Any votes? No injuries today. I'll try. I did go out and work in the yard though, and I was cleaning out some of the debris for pre-winter yard keeping. And I irritated it a little bit, but it didn't bleed, so we're good. All right, so do we do eeny, meeny, miny, mo? Catch a ginger man by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We do this one? Hey, Juju, we're trying to decide what kit to do. And I finished the gingerbread fun fold from yesterday. If you back it up, you can see what I talked about scoring his head and his backside. So, MacMan may or may not be with us. I am not sure. He went upstairs a few minutes ago. So let's, unless somebody objects, we'll do this one because at least there's some stamping. This one with the cars, while it's cute with that retro truck, which is really trendy this year, there's no stamping on this, so it's just going to be a matter of putting things together, which is fun, but we're thinking this one. All right, let's have at it. Oh, and I got a new stamp set too. This is for memory keeping, I guess. That was in my box as well. So we'll be doing something with this one before too long, I imagine. All right, I am going to go get a Night of Navy ink pad. So I've got the full-size pad. Just because that makes it a little bit easier for me when I go to stamp. And let's go ahead and just put these on blocks right away because sometimes that just makes it easier. Because I don't know what they're going to have us use. All right, and then we probably won't use all of them, but at least they'll be ready. That's the way I look at it. And you'll notice that I'm not putting my sentiments right on my glass block because they really cling to the glass block. And then it makes it hard to pick them up. Your eyes are twitching, so you need to just listen for a bit. Oh, don't get dizzy again. Still vertigo issues, huh? Just listen. I'll try to keep my calm, soothing voice at the forefront. And since this is going on a straight block, I'm going to try to get it. It's still a little bit crooked. We'll have to work with it, all right? And I don't want to lose these plastic sheaths because we'll need those. All right. I thought both of these kits looked kind of fun. So with the kits, everything you need is in the box. So it looks like we've got some gold, twine. It's bad enough when I can't feel things with my normal neuropathy, but I've got the Band-Aid on. Here's some tear and tape. I like to keep those for my senior group that I see, and I will be seeing them tomorrow. So when we need the tear and tape, I'll just use my full-size one. This one is Everyday Beauty Kit. So it was just released the other day. Last week. The 4th, whenever the 4th was, I think is when they were released. All right, here is what we need for the stamp set. I will get rid of the French and the German version because I don't need those. Get the thread out of here. Now, for those of you who are demonstrators, we have an incentive this month with kits. This is nice. And it's actually bendy, a little bendy. So if you've got questions about the incentive, if you're not aware of it, shoot me a message outside of here. And then these thin blocks, these are the ones that come with all the kits, and they come with the first paper pumpkin kit when people subscribe. But they're about half as thick as our regular blocks. So I use the regular blocks. Save the words for your junk journals. All right, so you want the German and French? Should I cut them in half and somebody can claim each one and I'll mail them to you? Because I won't use them. Look at these gorgeous envelopes. So not only are they colored on the outside, the flap has a floral design on it. And then the inside has like the foliage. And I don't know if that's Lost Lagoon. Let's see what colors. Yep, basic beige, gray granite, Lost Lagoon, Night of Navy, and petal pink. All right, Bonnie, I'm putting your name on these. All right, Bonnie L. There you go. All right, so when we get these kits, when you open it up, so when you fold back the flap, fold it back all the way, and it shows you each of the projects and the elements that you need for each project, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and start divvying up some of the items. So the envelopes, are the same. So 3, 6, 9. So we'll be making 9 cards. I've got a ton of debris here. I had my desk cleaned off for a second. All right, so then we have these like wax seals. These must be the, was it Pretty in Pink, did I say? Petal Pink. So those are Petal Pink. And they're somewhat flexible, but they already have adhesive on them. And they have the flowers and the foliage already on them. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then it looks like we have this card basis for card number 3. And these are ones where when I do alternatives, I will likely cut these and use these for 2 separate cards. Tonight we'll just make it as per the instructions as best I can. All right. So this looks like it goes here. Yeah, that must be right. All right, so that'll go there. Then we've got some other pieces. I'm trying to stay in the camera, but it doesn't always work. All right, then we've got these arched pieces. And that's interesting because these have the foliage here in the basic beige. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little like dotted arch on here. My lighting isn't super. I'll try to move my one lamp. It may not show, but there's an arch dotted on here. And there's an arch dotted on these as well. So there's 4 of those. Aha. All right, and there's some extra arch pieces. So these likely all go together. And then we've got some banners. So one of these will go here. So envelope, card base, decorative piece, banner. And is there another banner? This one's going to go with the first card. Well, some of these you do have to kind of see. So maybe if I don't move super fast, maybe that won't be too bad for you, Bonnie. All right, so I'm just going to punch these out also. These laser cut pieces are very pretty. And they're easy to punch out too. Sometimes they, in fact, almost fall out, because they really only have a couple of places where they're connected. And sometimes, depending on how delicate they are, you have to kind of be careful. Look at that one falling out, basically. So that's for all the people that don't have the die cutting machine and all the dies and all the things. Kits are perfect because everything you need is in the box. Paper Pumpkin's a little bit different. Oh, did you see there's going to be a flash sale for Paper Pumpkin? I think it's December 1st to buy prepaid Paper Pumpkin codes. This might be kind of fun as a stencil, just with some random foliage on a card. I'm going to have to hang on to that. Let's punch the rest of these out. All right, and it looks like this one is going to go with that card. Just try not to move your head, Bonnie. Or don't you move your eyes either. Just look straight ahead. This one is going to go with card number 1. Juju, there's no reason why you need to clean. You can take a break and watch. All right. So here's the card base for card number 1. And that has these pieces and that piece. And it also uses this piece. These pieces go with this card. And these pieces go with this card. And then this is the chipboard. A lot of times I'll hang on to this if you've got splatters everywhere. I will hang on to this to use instead of a piercing mat if I'm traveling, because it just gives you a nice little bit of cushion when you're using the photopolymer stamps. All right. I will end up using the piercing mat today just because I don't need this. Does anybody need these for your journals? Hello, Marty. Or is it Marti? I would say Marty. Welcome. So Juju, you want these chipboard pieces? How many do you need? Because they're a good size. They're about 6 1/8 by 8 1/2. Marty, nice. Let me know how many you need, Juju. Your phone still has splatters. All right. I mean, I hate to throw things away if somebody can use them, you know? All right. I'll put those in my distribute pile. All right. So I think we have all of our pieces. Oh, no, we don't have all of our pieces separated because we need, here's these other pieces. So it looks like these square pieces, rectangles, go here. And these are just a very light gray. And then the long thin strips will go on the arched card. And then these will go on this one. All right, now we're ready to go. So now we can flip this over and look at project number 1. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and we'll move this out of the way, and we'll bring in one of these and one of each of these pieces. One of those. All right. So let's do a little bit of stamping here. And like I said, I just bring in my full-size ink pad just because it's easier for me when we're stamping. So we're going to do the little flowers here. There we go. looks like it just kind of goes right in the center. That's pretty. And then Hello Beautiful. Get some ink on there. All right, let's see how this looks. Now you'll notice that I do not have my sentiment straight on my block. I do my blocks diagonally or cockeyed so that I rely more on the sentiment and the paper than I do on the edge of the block. So if the edge of the block with the stamp is just a little bit crooked, like this one seems a little bit crooked to me, I don't want the block to distract me. That looks very nice. All right, so let's put this away so I don't make a mess. And we are going to, on the front of here, we're going to put some tear and tape. Now, if I'm paying attention to the instructions, when I see, excuse me, when I see this gold piece and it's not flipped over to make it look like it's the back, I want to make sure I put the tear and tape on the front. If it's going on the back, you can see this is the back, this is the front. All right, so they will show you how to have it flipped. All right, so this one's going to go right on the front. All right. And then we're going to do the Hello Beautiful, and that's going to go right on here. All right, so we've got the tear and tape on here. We've got the Hello Beautiful, and the directions are showing us just to put the Hello Beautiful right on that gold piece. Oops, I gotta get my take your pick tool. There we go. I'm just swinging things all around. Sorry, Bonnie. All right, and then this is going to have a nice little border at the top and the bottom. All right, and then we're going to take our floral piece, and it looks like my die cut when they laser cut them was a little off, so I intentionally put more of the gold at the top. It should be centered, but to me that's not really that big a deal. So I'm going to flip this over because it shows this foliage piece going from the bottom. But I don't know if I'm going to like it going from the bottom. I might want it. I don't. That just looks kind of funny to me. So I will probably have mine going, because I have such a hard time following instructions, I'm probably going to have mine go something like this. All right. So let's go ahead and turn this over. We're going to put our 3 dimensionals on here, and I need to get a new sheet of dimensionals out. Because I only have a couple in the edges on this one. All right. So 1, 2, and I'm going to save these to use another time so I don't have to waste time trimming. 3. Okay. And then this piece, it wants us to put 2 of them on. There we go. And then here it's showing us as putting the card base in half. And we'll go ahead and burnish this. I guess I should put those flowers right side up. And then it also shows to put a dimensional on our card for that wax seal. So even though these appear to be adhesive, because this is raised up, because these items are raised up, that seal needs to be raised up as well. But we're also going to put some of this metallic thread, and it wants us to do 22.5 inches. So let's just use my glass mat here. So there's 12. That would be 22.5, goes to about there. I'm not going to worry about having it real exact because I have never run out of whatever thread or twine they give me. I always have enough. So let's go ahead and roll those up and twist it. I might have to play with that again. Hello, Linda Dickinson. Welcome. And so let's go ahead and take, well, these are adhesive, but it wants me to put tear tape on there too. So we'll just work with this. I'll try to follow the instructions. Sometimes they just don't make sense. So let's go ahead and do this again. And we're going to twist this. And we'll put it like this. Even that out a little bit, I guess. All right. And I'm not sure why we need the tear and tape, but apparently we need the tear and tape. And if they say we need tear and tape, there must be a reason. Mine is not to question why, I guess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut off that end piece too, so it's not hanging out there all crazy. All right, let's take the tear tape backing off of here. And then I had a little bit hanging over, so I'm just going to fold that back on itself. And that'll be fine. And we're going to be ready to put this together in just a second. Except for this piece. Now, I am going to put that here because to me, it just doesn't look right under my oval. So I'm gonna put that on here. So let's do a little bit of tear and tape here to add that little stem. I'll burnish that with the top of my Take Your Pick tool. And we're going to go ahead and take these ones off. Juju, have you used your Take Your Pick tool yet? All right, so this will go here. And they might have a little closer to the right, so I'll move it over a little bit. And I haven't pushed anything down yet real hard because I might need to move it. So that'll go there-ish. This I should have attached here first, but that tear and tape was still there, so that's all good. That'll work. And then this piece, we still need another dimensional, I guess, because the instructions say to put a dimensional there. So we'll do that. And that's going to go there. And there's our card. That's kind of pretty. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I'm going to glue this down a little bit because as it goes in and out of an envelope, that's probably going to catch. So I like the multi-purpose liquid glue from Tombow that we use with Stampin' Up! Stuff. So we'll just add a little bit to those little leaves there so they don't get ripped off. All right. So that's pretty. The wax seal is pretty cool. Then I want to stay up over my circular piece. And I'm just going to move these little metal wire pieces around a little bit. Cool. So as an alternative, what I will do with the other ones, I'm sure, is cut them, create layers. But for the front, I may use a decorative border, either the perennial postage dies or the woven textured ones, and maybe put it on a Secret C base, and then use this back piece as a frame for the inside sentiment piece. We'll see. All right, but how easy was that? And I'm sure they don't have separate gems on here because of the wax seal, the faux wax seal, and the metallic thread. And this is all gold metallic highlights on there. I'm not sure if you can see. You can see that when I flash that there. You can see those are all metallic elements. So that's why they didn't do any extra things on there. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Get rid of my junk. So the next one is the arched option here. So let's just get one piece of everything. Except the leaves we need two of. All right, so we are going to, on this piece it looks like, do thanks and the tulip. Flashy, it is flashy. I'm making a mess of the stamp and I don't really care. Just because I didn't wash them ahead of time or condition it on my hands, so let's just and we're going to do, these need to go kind of up there, but we're doing it on this piece. I just want to see about how far up it needs to go. Hopefully I have it straight. Nice. And then we're going to go ahead and do that flower. And that's going up here. Probably could have moved that thanks down a little bit further, but who knew? Okay, so that's done. And according to the instructions, we're going to put tear and tape on the back of here. I know it only shows two, 1, 2, but I like to have one in the middle too. And then I like to burnish on my tear and tape. You saw that I used the tip of my Take Your Pick tool for one of them. All right, and then we need to do, let's get that inked one out of the way. On here we need to stamp the For All You Do. See, it's a good thing I put these all on stamps or on blocks. And it looks like that's going right in the middle. Nice. And then this will have tear and tape on the back of it. Okay, let's close up this ink again because I think that's all we have to stamp. All right, so I'm looking over here. For this gold piece now, I'm going to add that sentiment. And that's going to have the scalloped edge down. That's some really sticky tear tape. All right, and it looks like this is all the way up to the top edge. And again, this is a gold metallic paper under there. And then we're going to put dimensionals. And I guess I should have been using miniature dimensionals because that's what my directions say. All right, so 3 of those. Okay. And then on this piece, it looks like we could probably punch this out. I don't see the reason to keep it. And this frame is going to have dimensionals in the 4 corners. I'm going to use bigger ones just because that's what I think it needs. That one got a little close to the edge. Oh, I guess that's just the top, the back paper, the release paper. And then I'm going to add a couple more just to support the sides here. And maybe across the top also. I don't like it when they sag. All right. Then the seal, we're doing tear tape again on there. It just seems strange to me that we're putting tear tape on there even though there's adhesive. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to skip it. So these will kind of go underneath here. And then that's going to have some more of the thread. Again, 22.5 inches. So 12, 10.5-ish. Now this has it so that the loops are all coming out of the top. Which is interesting. just press that right on there. And I'm just going to kind of move mine around because I don't want it to look like Mickey Mouse ears. So we'll just do mine kind of random. And then let's go ahead and fold our card base. We should have done that back there a step or two. All right, this piece then is going to go on the front of our card. Oh, I think I got them all off the first try. All right, have the card going the right way. Well, this is so strange. Why is there... This doesn't make sense to me that there is... No. It's like this. That's crazy. So it's going to be the front and the back. I get it now. Because all of my foliage is on here. And I guess the little dotted design on here is just to help you line this up, I guess. I would rather pay attention to the edges of the card, but it is what it is. And then where did our arch piece go? Oh, that's got to go underneath. All right, so let's peel this off. That was back on this step. That's why it didn't make sense to me. Yeah, that's what I get for not following the instructions better, right? See, this is why I do the kits, so that you don't make the same mistakes that I make. That's all good. And if you're careful with these dimensionals, that they haven't been on real long, they peel off pretty easily. All right, so let's go back to this piece. And I should have paid attention because the card was there and then that shows it going on the card. Which is good because I have a little smudge on there. So again, I'm just going to center this because the dots are on there, but you can't really line it up with the dots because you can't see through that card. All right, let's try this again. Straighten these edges out a little bit. That'll be good. Nobody but us will ever know. All right. Now we're good. So now this goes across the front. Right under there. And that goes from end to end on that foliage, which is why we didn't put dimensionals on the very end. It only showed the dimensionals in the middle. Here, it showed them in the middle, if you can see that. Maybe not. But it shows the dimensionals right there. All right. Good night, Yuta. Hi, Apple. All right. And then we're going to take this piece and that's going to come right over here. Well, that's different. It shows it right up here. Okay. And maybe we do need some tear and tape on there because I've covered up the stuff. Oh, it shows a dimensional on there. So let's do, we can do 2 dimensionals on there actually. That'll help hold on the little foliage pieces and it'll help hold on the metallic thread. Now when you layer on multiple layers of dimensionals, you want to kind of watch so that they're not on top of each other. That would make your card thicker when it goes through the postal service, because then you have to pay extra postage. In retrospect, I would have stamped this maybe over a little bit more to let this fit better. But then I also would have moved this down so that it covered just that little itty bit of gold. All right, let's cut this little end off. I don't like how that looks. And there's the second card. All right, so it's a shame to have this on the back because none of that shows. So in future cards, I will go ahead and slice these. I'll make this a layer size. Now I've got the Everyday Arches dies. Where are those? So this stamp set would probably work really well if there was something you liked. Look at that. And these, when they're photopolymer, you can curve them a little bit more too. You Are a Ray of Sunshine, that could go in there. You Are Loved could go in there. Let me look and see how much this kit is. Usually the ones that are not stamping kits are less expensive. And let's just see what this one is. Personally, I think for all of the things that you get in the kit, they're reasonable. And then I forgot what it said already. Everyday Beauty. This one is a $25 kit, so you get 9 cards. So that's like $2.78 a card. All right, and you get all the pretty things in here. And you get all of your adhesive, you get all of your, you get an ink spot, you get the metallic thread, you get all the stamp sets. And the stamp set you can use over and over again, right? And you get these faux wax seals. And where did I put the envelopes? The envelopes are really pretty. I think, Apple, you came in later than I showed the envelopes. These are really pretty. So there's a white floral sprig on there, and they coordinate with the cards. So that's really pretty. So if I wanted to cut these apart, since I have the Everyday Arches, I could easily recreate something very similar using what I have. But if you don't have all the things, there's a beautiful card. All right, so that's card number 2. Card number 1 and card number 2. I may still find some bling to put on there. That might need some more. And then this piece too, don't throw those away because you can use that for another card. All right, so let's go on to the last card. Let me get all the pieces. And here is another one where there's 2 designs on the card. The back is going to be this side. The stripe is what's going to be on the front. And to me, ooh, you're busy baking in your kitchen? What are you baking, Apple? All right, so This one shows we're going to use these sprigs, and we're just going to stamp a couple on the side of the card because they're going to show under this piece. So if this piece gets put here, we're going to do right about here. And then another one right about here. Okay, that looks good. And then we are going to take this piece. So I just did this first piece, so I remembered to score my card. You're getting everything Betty Crocker for your kitchen. Nothing wrong with that. Alrighty. And we are going to do Celebrate Today and Every Day. Now this is off to the left of the banner. So what are you and Betty Crocker making? Makes me feel like I should make some brownies or something. All right, so this will go here. Oh, let me get my piercing mat. That might give me a little better image. So that goes top-ish left. Very nice. All right, a couple little nubs here that I'm sure you folks can't see, but I can see those there. All right, and that's all we have to stamp on that one, just that little sentiment. All right, so we are going to take the gold banner piece. So I have an extra one. The gold banner piece, and on the front again, because this is showing the gold side, we're putting the tear and tape on the front. She can't decide, huh? Brownies sounds really good to me. Carrot cake. Chocolate cake. Apple spice cake. So many choices. Right. And then this sentiment is going to be centered on this gold foil banner so that there's gold shown on each side. And it's a shame to waste all of that gold with just a little bit showing out. I probably could have sliced it and made it bigger. I still could actually. Let's do that. Let's just, and then before I do too much else, I should. So let's just spread these out a little bit more because I want to see more of that gold. There's just such a very thin edge showing. I'm making it about 3 times what the edge was. And I'm still within my 4 1/4, so it'll fill the card more fully. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of here. It shows 3 dimensionals. All right, and then this gold piece, this is the one that's got the scallop. On the back, we're going to put some tear and tape. So these instructions, I think, used to be more typed instructions. I actually think the instructions with the pictures are probably more universal. Yeah, I can take this off and put it on the card, I guess. piece is going to get centered there. And maybe we're going to go off to the side a little bit. I know that's centered, but I'm going to do it off to the side. I want to see more of the foliage. All right, this piece is going to go here. So we're going to put some more tear and tape on these. Top and bottom. I do craft wedding cards. I made a, I was basically commissioned to do a wedding card for a friend of mine. It was actually for a mutual acquaintance, but I did a pretty fancy card. So it was like a trifold, personalized. I did a custom envelope for it because it was odd sized. There was some foiled paper. I used some of my older supplies, which didn't matter because the bride and the groom weren't looking to buy the supplies that I used to make their card, right? So I used a lot of my stash. All right, and then this will go on here. And I'm just centering that right on my card because it's going to almost go to the edges, because I did that almost at 4 1/4. And then we have another seal, another 22.5-inch piece of the metallic thread. Whoops. Pick that little puppy up. And then we're going to loop this around a few times. Oh, Valentine's cards are fun too. Oh, I know one of the announcements I forgot to make at the very beginning. December starts the product of the month, where with a $75 purchase, you have the option of getting a product of the month for only $5. I do not know what that product is going to be yet. I do not believe that it will be available for pre-order. I think we just have to wait until December. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, and then we also want to take this piece, and the directions have it coming straight down. Again, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to make it go a little sideways here. And in fact, I'm going to put that on this first. I'm going to put a little piece of tear and tape here. Because I want that to kind of frame my sentiment there. And then those other foliage pieces will still show. Oops. I have not been using my wireless mic because it seemed like it was interfering with the picture, but that has not been consistent either because the picture has been elongated other times. So I may go back to using that. I think it's just that I was talking down instead of up. And that's going to go right on there. It shows me to do some more tear and tape on here. So once again, we're gonna try to follow the instructions. And I think that's probably more to hold that metallic thread in place than anything else. Is that better, Juju? I'm trying to keep my head up more when I talk. Oh, come on. We're so close to being done. There we go. And then that's going to go there. I think this is my favorite. All right, so you figure if we have 9 cards, 3, 6, 9, we have 9 extra seals in this kit. All right, so if you cut a lot of these cards in half, you still have a bunch of these seals to use to recreate other cards, which is pretty awesome, I think. We don't always get that. All right. So there we go. Look at that. Card number 1. Card number 2. And this one actually shows here with that little envelope flap down. That's really quite pretty. And then let's put that there so it stays down. Make sure these are all the same color on the inside. They are. They're all the same color inside. So there's that one. And then this one. This is really a pretty kit. I'm very glad I had it. This is one of the kits that will be available for my Come and Kit It on November 30th. And we may have another one in December. I don't know. This one, to me, it almost seems like it might sell out quick. You just never know. Some of these are so hard to forecast how popular they're going to be. So sometimes they run out really quick. So that is that. But you figure for less than $3 a card, your kit is what did I say, $25? Yeah, $25 for the kit plus shipping. So like, you know, three and a quarter a piece with the shipping, I suppose. But I think they're really pretty. I like the color combinations too. This one I see lots of room for some personalization with maybe some ink blending. Even with the background, the basic beige is probably not one of my favorite colors. But all of these, because they've got that extra design on the backs, these have a lot of potential. Lots and lots of potential. Still cutting in and out, huh? Well, my phone is charged. It's probably just my voice. I was outside quite a bit today, so it's probably just my raspy voice. We'll hope it's my raspy voice. Let me take some more water. Or maybe I should consider drinking something stronger. All right. What's your favorite? Which one do you think you like the best out of these 3? And I even brought my blending brush because I wasn't sure if we would need it. We'll get these washed up. I don't think I'm going to wash them. I don't think I'm going to put all this stuff away because I might want to make some more of these. Make some alternatives. I'm sure you could make some fun little journal elements with some of these things. You know, this is kind of with some of your Victorian or some of your older pictures that you've used. That might work good with some of that stuff. This one would probably be good with some of your jelly paints. Is that what you call them? Or your gel? Your gel. You call them your gel paints, right? Because they're a little translucent. So then you might still be able to see the design, but it might add a little zip to the card itself. I like the third one the best too, Linda. That is definitely my favorite. All right. And Chamois to the rescue. These are all cleaned up. Anybody else? So far we got 2 votes for the third one. So Apple, you like this one first? You like this one the best? That one's pretty too. And pretty quick and easy. Even for a putsy stamper like me. I mean, it didn't really take that long. All right, so Juju, you like the third one too? Anybody else? So this would be the first choice, second choice, third choice, it looks like. So that's all I've got for you tonight, everybody. I'm going to call it a night. I still have a class to finish prepping for tomorrow. I get to work with my senior group tomorrow. All right, now I have to think, is it Rhea? Just like it looks. Welcome. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Rhea. Whew. Welcome. Sorry you missed most of it, but you know, the replay is available. Apple, there will probably be Valentine's kits closer to that season. We have new kits that come out every month. So there's at least 2 kits that come out every month. And once a quarter, so the first month of a quarter, usually there are 3 kits. So I imagine December or January will probably have some Valentine's Day ones, and sometimes our paper pumpkin ones have Valentine's themes. But again, that would be a January kit. And subscription time, we're right now in the December, because we just closed out the November kits. So ordering the November paper pumpkin closed on November 10th. So December 10th will close the next one. And I haven't looked to see what the preview is for the December one. So, oh, Rhea, well, thank you for popping in. I'm glad you were watching. But it's nice to have the extra input for the conversation. So Apple, keep, checking. If you go to my website, you can see the kits. There's when you go to the shop, and scroll down to shop 4, there's a heading for kits, the kits collection, and you can watch for those. And if you shoot me an email even at LoriMacari@gmail.com, let me know that you're watching for Valentine's Day kits, and I will try to put a little mental note, and I could try to notify you if there's something that comes up as a Valentine's Day kit. I know we've had some Valentine's Day kits in the past. And in fact, I just got to see a preview of our mini catalog for the January to April. There's some Valentine's stuff in that mini catalog. And there will probably be some Valentine's things and online exclusives too. So those of you who are on my team or our demonstrators, the PDF version of our new mini catalog is available for us to take a peek at. So, you can do it, Rhea. All right, well, I'm going to say good night, everybody. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the suggestions and voting and whatever. Maybe we didn't do a whole lot of suggestions. I don't remember. But you helped me pick what kit we were going to work on. And I may actually do this one tomorrow. We'll see. This one looks like it's going to be pretty fun, too. So we'll at least take a look. We'll see what else I come up with. We'll see how much energy I have left after my senior groups tomorrow. So have a good night, everybody, or have a good day, depending on where you're coming from. If Susan is still with us, it's probably afternoon by her. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Susan hasn't said anything for a bit, so I'm not sure if you're still here, Susan, but have a good night, everybody. Have a good day. Happy crafting. 2:30 a.m. where you are. 2:30, so you're an hour. Oh, so you're on the East Coast. Right, Rhea? I forgot to... I don't remember where you're from. Are you Florida? I don't remember. All right, concentrate on your prayer books. Get them done. Georgia. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Try to get some sleep, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting.